On the morning of August 4th, 1892, in the quaint town of Fall River, Massachusetts, the quiet hum of summer was shattered by the discovery of a crime so grisly, so chilling, that it would grip the nation and echo through the corridors of history for more than a century. This is the story of Lizzie Borden and the infamous murders that would make her name synonymous with mystery and intrigue. The Borden household, a modest yet respectable home, stood at 92 2nd Street. Inside lived Andrew Borden, a wealthy but frugal businessman, his second wife, Abby, and his two adult daughters from his first marriage, Emma and Lizzie. The Bordens were not known for their warmth or camaraderie. Theirs was a house often filled with tension and unease, particularly between the stepmother and the daughters. On that fateful day, the air was thick with the promise of another hot and humid summer day. The house was unusually quiet. Bridget Sullivan, the family's maid, was going about her morning chores, unaware that the tranquility was about to be violently shattered. At around 11:15 a.m., Bridget heard Lizzie calling out to her from upstairs. The urgency in her voice was palpable. "Bridget, come quick. Father's dead. Someone came in and killed him." Andrew Borden's body lay on the couch in the sitting room, his face unrecognizable, brutally hacked beyond recognition. It was a scene of unimaginable horror. As Bridget and Lizzie stood in shock, the realization that Abby Borden was not accounted for began to settle in. The search for Abby led them to the guest bedroom, where she was found lying face down, her skull crushed by numerous blows. The violence was staggering, the kind of brutality that seemed almost inhuman. The news of the murder spread like wildfire through Fall River. The Borden home quickly became a circus of police, journalists, and morbidly curious townspeople. Amidst the chaos, questions began to surface. Who could have committed such a heinous act in broad daylight, with people in the house? Suspicion initially fell on Bridget, but her alibi was solid. Attention then turned to Lizzie. The investigation revealed a series of peculiar and incriminating details. Lizzie's behavior in the aftermath of the murders was curiously detached. She provided inconsistent answers during questioning, and there was the matter of a recently purchased hatchet found in the basement, its handle broken and its blade suspiciously clean. More damning was the discovery that Lizzie had attempted to purchase prussic acid, a deadly poison, just days before the murders. The town was divided. Some believed Lizzie to be the victim of an appalling frame-up. Others were convinced of her guilt, citing the long-standing animosity between Lizzie and her stepmother, and her potential motive inheritance. Andrew Borden was a wealthy man, and his death, along with Abby's, meant that Lizzie and her sister Emma stood to inherit a substantial fortune. The trial of Lizzie Borden began in June 1893. It was a media sensation, one of the first American trials to be heavily covered by the press, drawing parallels to the modern-day O.J. Simpson case. The courtroom was packed with spectators, all eager to see the woman at the center of this macabre mystery. The prosecution presented a compelling case. They highlighted Lizzie's contradictory statements and the suspicious circumstances surrounding the broken hatchet. They pointed to her calm demeanor in the face of her parents' gruesome deaths and her seemingly cold calculation. The defense, however, painted a different picture. They portrayed Lizzie as a dutiful daughter, deeply religious and incapable of such an atrocity. They questioned the reliability of the evidence, suggesting that the police had mishandled the investigation. One of the most dramatic moments of the trial came when Lizzie took the stand. Her calm and composed demeanor, coupled with her eloquent denial of any involvement in the murders, swayed public opinion. The lack of direct evidence, combined with the societal biases of the time, women, particularly those of Lizzie's social standing, were not readily believed to be capable of such violence, worked in her favor. After an arduous trial, the jury deliberated for just 90 minutes before returning a verdict of not guilty. Lizzie Borden was acquitted of all charges, but the shadow of suspicion never lifted. She lived the rest of her life in Fall River, ostracized and haunted by the specter of the murders. She died in 1927, taking whatever secrets she held with her to the grave. The case of Lizzie Borden remains one of America's most enduring mysteries. Over the years, it has inspired countless books, movies, and theories. Was Lizzie a cunning killer who escaped justice? Or was she an innocent woman wronged by circumstance and public opinion? The truth lies buried in the annals of history, tantalizingly out of reach, ensuring that the legend of Lizzie Borden endures. In the annals of crime, few stories capture the imagination quite like that of Lizzie Borden. It is a tale of family, greed, and violence, set against the backdrop of a quiet New England town. It is a story that reminds us that even in the most ordinary places, the most extraordinary horrors can unfold. And as long as there are those who seek to unravel its mysteries, the legend of Lizzie Borden will continue to haunt and fascinate. A dark chapter in the book of American history.